This is Vincent with CFSM Media. We just wrapped up the crisis at the border with Dr. Gorka and Congressman Andy Biggs. I have Brad and Heather with me. They were viewing the event. Brad, tell me a little bit about what brought you out to this event and what your thoughts were.
First off, I thought it was great. I'm a member of the firearms community here in Arizona. I'm an instructor. I was invited to this by somebody I train. And yeah, I had a good time speaking about the Second Amendment, protecting our rights and freedoms. Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I'm very involved with firearms as well. So thank you for being an instructor. And Heather, I guess the same question. What brought you out here and what did you think of the event?
My husband brought me out here.
Now the question is, was it forced or was it?
No, it was not forced. It was a desire. I've grown up actually in the Republican Party my entire life. My family, huge gun, law enforcement. Mm-hmm. My husband's a veteran. So we just are a huge Second Amendment rights and keeping our borders closed so that we can
hopefully have a country.
Yeah, I'm like flourish as America. Yeah.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, as Ron Paul said back in 2006, the people in office have a fundamental belief that national sovereignty is not important. That's why they don't care much about our borders. Now, Ron Paul said that back in 2006, and we heard a lot about that during this event, about the trafficking, the smuggling, the drugs. I mean, what's that going to do to our country in the long run if this continues?
It's a huge concern for my kids. Honestly, it's a huge concern. Like, I was brought to tears multiple times just thinking about my children, what my children are going to have to fight for. My husband and I had this conversation actually 2 nights ago about we feel really sorry for the children and what they're going to have to endure and what they're going to have to go through. We're not even touching the surface, basically, of what they're going to have to go through as far as our country is concerned.
And I can tell you, having spent the last 8 years in law enforcement here in Arizona, I'm not going to say what agency, but the amount of drugs that are cartel related that me personally and other guys I worked with that were pulling off of cartel members here in Arizona was incredible. Hundreds of $1,000s worth of heroin, fentanyl, methamphetamines in the trunk of cars that were from Mexican nationals running across that are cartel members, and I was ripping it out of the cars. It's insane.
Now, what I noticed, I guess this will be the last question, but what I noticed is that a lot of people that might maybe disagree with our politics are a lot more emotionally driven. So when we get on the more logical side like this, with the numbers, the stats, the actual evidence of what's taking place, it doesn't register. So is there a way that we can really kind of break through and get these people to understand that things like open borders brings in crime, it brings in drugs, and it's ultimately detrimental for us because we pay the burden for it?
I think we have to sit down and talk with them. Talk to them like people. People don't do that anymore. It's driving me nuts. Everyone wants to yell and scream and fight and throw bottles at each other and do crazy stuff.
At each other for not
just screaming and yelling. If we sat down and actually talked, talk to people. My dad's a diehard Democrat. If me and him can't talk, if we could sit there and actually talk about things like adults, I think it would carry a lot. I mean, everybody just wants to scream. Nobody wants to hear what the other side has to say. We're so dead set and separated right now. If we could just come together and just talk and we'll carry it through. I mean, I think that's huge.
Absolutely.
Anything else to say?
I think, well, back to that, I think a lot of us have blinders on, and my husband and I were just talking about this as well. I don't know if you guys have watched The Social Dilemma. Everybody should watch The Social Dilemma because honestly, that's what's fueling all of this. Being on social media, being influenced by other people, not having your own viewpoints, and actually having stuff, what did they call it, babe, where they just like basically they give you what you want. They reinforce. Yeah, there you go.
It's like the echo chamber.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly. And so if we just got away from social media, got back to our roots, talked like he was saying to people, and just loved each other. I mean, I know I'm getting all feely, but I mean, honestly, there's a lot of hatred and a lot of horrible things going on in this world right now.
Maybe all it's going to take is that we just have to bake some brownies or something for our neighbors and have neighborhood barbecues again. You know, I never see kids playing outside.
No.
Right?
Nuts.
We make our kids.
I mean,
it's so weird.
I mean, I'm only 27, but when I was in middle school, even elementary school, I used to walk home.
Yep.
Group of friends, you know, we'd play outside, we'd skateboard, we'd go
skateboard stand all day.
Exactly. We'd go and get in trouble that I don't really have to get into right now, but
Oh yeah, man, I was right there. Like,
but now it's all Fortnite and Xbox
All that,
stop
exactly.
with that crap.
And all social media.
and all
Tons of
social media.
Yep.
Well, Brad, Heather, I really appreciate you taking
Thanks
the
for
time.
having me.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Well, have a good rest of your night.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.